Sarah Boone wrote another letter. Well, I guess we should take a look. This is dated July 8th, 2024, written to the judge. Judge Kranick, where's my discovery? I am still waiting for you to provide me with the contents of what former attorney Cashman supplied to you and the court at the surprise status hearing held in secret on 6/28/24 at 1:30 p.m. Surprise? I think she was told by a jail guard that Cashman wanted to withdraw and there would be a hearing. When the hearing happened, Sarah was in court. Your designated clock of unfair judgment, quotation marks, ticks empty and incessantly while waiting for you to deliver. Ticks empty. What, does she have this hollow sound in her head? Or is it that the clock is ticking and it doesn't mean anything? What is she saying here? And incessantly. Yeah, a good clock will tick incessantly. As usual, it's in your favor. Okay. Clock of unfair judgment. This is a weird metaphor here. And as usual, in your favor, in the judge's favor, what benefit is it to the judge? The judge is not against one side or another, but she has to be able to include the word unfair or the concept of unfair and that everybody's against her. In your nonchalant, relaxed, unconcerned attitude of me to receive, you are robbing me of precious, life-saving time to fully and properly defend myself on top of my already and still being violated constitutional rights and being forced to represent myself based on false information. Okay. Her sentence structure drives me bananas. So she's saying the judge is nonchalant and relaxed and unconcerned. And that's the key word, unconcerned. Because if you don't fall at my feet and weep and feel sorry for me, that means you're unconcerned. If you don't give me what I want, it means you're unconcerned. If you don't give me enough, right? She wants what she wants, when she wants it, how she wants it. It's not going to be enough. It's going to be unconcerned. And everybody owes her. And then of me to receive her discovery. You're robbing me of this precious time. Well, maybe, Sarah, maybe if you'd actually worked with any one of your attorneys along the way, you wouldn't be in this situation. So she's saying fully and properly defend myself. So it sounds like she is able to fully and properly defend herself as long as she has time. You see, now that it's on her, and I've been saying all along, she wants to delay. She would delay forever if she thought she could. Because if she goes to trial, it's my opinion that she will be convicted. And once she's convicted, she cannot be the innocent victim anymore. That horrible name that she doesn't want anyone to call her, murderer, would apply. And she just can't have that. So any delay in getting her discovery, well, she's setting it up now, isn't she? It's going to be the judge's fault now. It's going to be the fault of the court, and therefore I'll need a delay, which she will not get, but it will all be their fault. It's always got to be set up so that no matter what happens, it's not Sarah's fault. She's also suggesting she's capable of fully defending herself. So far, she's not saying, oh my gosh, I'm not capable of doing this. Please give me another chance. I'm sorry. No, she knows everything. And that's been part of the problem. And of course, violated constitutional rights. No, her constitutional rights haven't been violated. And being forced in big capital letters to represent myself. So again, it's somebody else's fault. Remember, she was warned and warned and warned, and now there's a consequence. But she doesn't see it as a consequence. To her, it's, you're forcing me. You've put this upon me. And she says, based on false information. Oh yeah? What false information is that? That you're implacable? Well, you demonstrate that consistently, and you have done throughout this whole thing, that you are a bully? That you can't work with anyone? Is that the false information? That you walk out on your lawyer? There's no false information. I do not even know what is contained in said discovery after being withheld from seeing all to date. And for the first time in said surprise, she does this, status hearing, along with my supposed digital evidence being produced by Cashman finally after never being shown any of during her representation. Ugh. These sentences give me a headache. All right. She doesn't know what's contained in the discovery. Okay, fair enough. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. But if she doesn't know what's in there, how does she know if something's missing? She's claiming again it was being withheld, all of it. And the surprise status hearing, that's just her way of getting in a little dig. She got everything. She's got outright bullying and passive aggressive. And what is supposed digital evidence? And she complains Cashman's hadn't shown it to her during Cashman's representation. And again, in quotation marks, she's dripping with sarcasm. Her response to me when I would ask to review was, your first attorney said he reviewed it with you. That was over 4 years ago. You're my attorney now. And no, I did not. This is what I had to deal with. My gosh, how horrible. You see what I have to deal with? You see this? Nothing like being shoved into a suitcase and having to beg for your life. I have not seen in its entirety and completely to date. Well, how do you know that? Please note, I do not have access to a computer to view these materials. I'm doing my very best to figure this and everything else out as I go in my newly unwanted, forced position of pro se. Please do not penalize me even greater than being already. I'm trying. Yes, you're trying. All right. I can't speak to how much computer access she does or does not have. I don't know what the system is like in the place where she is incarcerated. And again, she has to throw in unwanted, forced pro se, right? And do not penalize me even greater. So first of all, that suggests that he penalized her. No, he did not. This was not a punishment. This was a decision, and it was carefully laid out in the judge's order and all the reasons, and he brought receipts for all of it. This is not a penalty. This is consequence. If I tell you, don't close your eyes and walk off the edge of the roof because you'll hurt yourself, and you ignore me and you walk off the edge of the roof and you break your legs, who's to blame? She was warned, and she chose to carry on the way she was carrying on anyway. And it wasn't like she was just warned once. She has been given multiple opportunities and multiple warnings. And we're back to blame again. The word penalize. It wasn't there were consequences to my actions. You see, she cannot take responsibility. And saying, please don't penalize me even greater, translation, do what I want, or I'm going to see that as punishment too. And everything's going to be your fault. Nothing is her fault. And she says, I'm trying. I mean, I don't know what she's trying, but even in this letter so far, she's throwing arrows and not taking responsibility and setting something up. So she's not trying to change her behavior. She's just trying harder to control everybody else, and it's not going to fly. Please know also, I am in an open bay dorm living with 63 other inmates. I need to figure out how to view anything securely to avoid further exploitation and mean ignorance. That might give some insight into some of her relationships inside there. There is no privacy or individual access in jail. Cashman, I'm glad I could look. The letter is to the judge, supposedly, but she knows it's getting posted. The letter isn't to Cashman. Cashman, I'm glad I could help you shine in the courtroom in front of the judge by you professionally and finally bringing everything I've been asking for since day one, and after I included you on my letter to the judge ensuring return, unlike you who did not include me on your motion to withdraw. Surprise! And I had to find out from someone else, an officer, 3 days before this surprise status hearing, so you would even know what to bring. Why didn't you bring to any of your 20 hours of meeting with me? And again, 20 hours and meeting, suggesting that maybe this is not true. There's sarcasm here. As always, it's in everyone else's favor but mine. Everybody is against me. This bit right at the beginning of this paragraph irks me, and here's why. I'm glad I could help you shine in the court, blah, blah, blah. You know who does that? Abusers. When a victim becomes a survivor, when a victim gets away, gets strong, moves on, learns, and thrives instead of buckling under a perpetrator's abuse. I've heard offenders say, well, she's strong because of me, as if they can also take credit for that victim's resilience. And that's what this reminds me of. Anything good? Well, that's on Sarah. Even if somebody else does the behavior. Anything bad? Well, that's everybody else's fault, even if Sarah does the behavior. So Cashman brought everything, and Sarah's taking credit for that. And she wants to point out to everyone that she included Cashman on the letter, but Cashman didn't. There was no reciprocity here, which is laughable because Sarah doesn't have to reciprocate respect, manners even. So the message, once again, is Sarah is wonderful and everybody else is garbage. And again, the surprise. It really bothers her. I think she didn't expect the judge to let Cashman off the hook. And I think that is the surprise. And I think that she expected that if Cashman was allowed to withdraw, that she would just get another attorney and she could continue her game. But this judge wasn't having it. So she did hear someone else, an officer, told her 3 days before the hearing that it was happening. So it's not that much of a surprise. I mean, how much notice do you want? I guess she's mad she didn't get a letter or a notice. If that's the case, I don't know. And this, why didn't you bring to any of your 20 hours of meeting with me? Well, why would the lawyer do that? At that point, Sarah was not pro se. Now she is, in everybody else's favor. Well, how does this benefit anybody? Does she think that Cashman or any other lawyer is interested in keeping her down? I mean, wouldn't it be beneficial for a lawyer to get this done quickly and get this done effectively? There's no motive for any of these lawyers to purposely fail. So it's not in their favor. This is just another way of saying, wah, wah, it's not fair. How much real time will I have to prepare and properly? Well, she seems to think that she knows more than all the lawyers and they're not doing enough and they weren't taking her direction. Well, now she can, with her brilliant mind, take care of it. Especially the fact you have me doing everything while incarcerated. But that's what she wanted. She wanted the disclosure brought to her while she's incarcerated. This is what she wanted. What is she saying here? Let me out on bond? It's not going to happen. What happens when more time must be utilized to discover where my lost discovery is I've been asking for repeatedly? Aha, there you go. She set it up in the beginning and she's setting it up yet again here that she's going to need more time. She's not going to get it. And this lost discovery, well, if there was something that the prosecution had, she could get copies of that, right? It's not like they hand out one copy and then say, you can never have another copy. So is there something in the discovery that she knows ought to be there that she has seen and isn't now? Or is she talking about her handwritten notes that she made herself? And she's just whining. For depositions, to locate my witnesses, contact anyone via collect phone calls. That's a real hurdle. Wait to receive transcripts, any records, everything I need to finally build my defense. And this underlining of my is interesting to me because in the past, there has been some mention of paths. The lawyer wants to take one path and she wants to take another. And the lawyers end up quitting. And I suspect, I don't know, of course, but I suspect that some of the lawyers wanted to go battered spouse route, except that's not going to work. And in order to do that, a whole lot of other stuff would have to come out. And I think Sarah knows it's not going to work. And I think Sarah didn't want all the rest of that stuff to come out because, again, she would look like the abuser or an abuser, and she couldn't claim that he was horrible and that she was wonderful. That's what I think. And I think that's why she's saying my defense. Partly it's my way, and partly this is my defense. Or is your plan, Your Honor, to just leave me out to dry and in a hurricane? Honey, I think that's a tornado. Okay. Is your plan to leave me out to dry? Why? Why would a judge want to do that? The judge has no interest in that. She has such a complex. Like, who does she think she is, actually? Your time constraints are extreme and unreasonable. Oh my gosh. She was complaining about how, hey, let's get the show on the road. Let's get moving. Things aren't moving fast enough as she engaged in behaviors that created delays, but let's leave that aside. But now that things are moving, just like she asked for, well, now the time constraints are extreme and unreasonable. And I think she uses that language intentionally. Your decision you claim to have considered from your order is illogical and unfair, specifically that it has been malformed by your ignorance, inexperience of my case, misinterpretation, straight lies from the attorneys appointed. Oh boy. So she doesn't believe he considered anything. Never mind that he set it out in black and white and brought receipts. There are footnotes, Sarah. Footnotes. Read them. And his order is illogical. Okay? Then make your argument. Set out your facts. Set out your logical sequence. And unfair. Okay. Say why. And so she says specifically that. So I'm thinking, oh, she's going to spell out something. No, she doesn't. She just makes an ad hominem attack, basically. It has been malformed by your ignorance. Might be a good idea not to bully the judge. I don't know. Inexperience of my case, misinterpretations of what, and straight lies from the attorneys appointed. Wow, all these attorneys lied. We know that Sarah lies, and there's evidence, lots of it, that she does. And she lies in multiple ways. And she has lied since the 911 call. So you're going to believe somebody who has a whole lot to win and lose here, who also has a pattern of lying? Or are you going to believe an officer of the court who has no interest in lying about it? They are brazen to stand at your pulpit, there's that word again, in your courtroom and commit perjury to your face and the world. Well, that is a serious allegation. And the last time she was in court, when the judge asked Sarah, what was the lie? You're claiming Cashman lied. What was the lie? Well, there wasn't one. She couldn't come up with anything. Yet here she can put in writing that these lawyers are committing perjury. She is accusing the lawyers of a criminal offense. That's serious. And yet she has no receipts. Perjury. What was the perjury, Sarah? What was the lie? Or what were the lies? Spell it out and show the proof that they were lies and that those people knew that they were lying. No, you don't have that? Oh, you just want to sling mud and shoot arrows? Okay, I got it. Okay. But yet it's me. It is my belief, and from your order that actions speak louder than words, the court is sabotaging me forcing me, pressuring me, setting me up for failure. This is not the first time that she has suggested that somebody else has set her up for failure. But here's the thing. Just because everybody won't be your puppet and they are autonomous human beings doesn't mean anyone's setting you up for failure. And the court did not sabotage her. The court bent over backwards to assist her. She does still, by the way, have a right to a lawyer. What she doesn't have is a right to a publicly funded lawyer. There's a difference. And she waived that right through her conduct. So no, the court isn't sabotaging her. She is sabotaging herself. And of course, she can't take responsibility. It's the court forcing her and pressuring her and setting her up for failure. No. She put somebody else in that position. She sabotaged herself. If any of the prior attorneys would have included, cared, there's that word again, collaborated during their time of representation, you not being brainwashed, impartial from believing everyone over me, and implementing your intricately misconstrued, unfair order formulated from, I would not be writing yet another letter, would I? Somebody give her English classes. Okay. So none of the prior attorneys included her. I think that's not true. And what does included mean? Does it mean asking permission to breathe or something? And cared. Your attorney does not owe it to you to care about you. If you want that, hire a nanny, not an attorney. Collaborated. I think they actually tried, and I think she doesn't know what collaborate means. I think for her, that's a synonym for obey me, right? And she puts in quotations representation. So she's just kind of dissing that, right? Like it's not really representation, or it's so below par that it doesn't even count. You have to put it in quotations. And you not being brainwashed. So the judge is ignorant. He's sabotaging her. Apparently this judge is just so stupid. He's brainwashed. Amazing. Oh, and illogical. So it's amazing that he put together that order the way he did. That was spelled out so beautifully. Impartial from believing everyone over me. So that doesn't even make sense. She's throwing in the word impartial because she knows it's important that the judge is supposed to be impartial, and she's saying he's not, and believing everyone over me. Well, again, I asked the question, do you believe someone who consistently lies and who has motive to lie, or do you believe these other people who don't really have reasons to lie? Implementing your intricately misconstrued. Oh, the way she uses words. Okay. I think she wants to say intricately, the order was intricately formulated, and she's saying it's unfair and it's based on you misunderstanding. Or she could be saying you're putting out something purposely misconstrued to mislead everybody else. And I would not be writing yet another letter, would I? So she's saying, and she's done this before too, I'm writing another letter and I'm throwing arrows at you, but guess what? It's your fault anyway. You made me do it. Just like she said to Mr. Torres, yeah, well, this is how it feels when you cheat on me. I'm going to blame you. She cannot take responsibility. And if he's so brainwashed and illogical and ignorant and all of that, how does he intricately make anything? But okay. In the meantime, ... while your clock ticks ceaselessly and loud as I wait for you to deliver anything. Even more fingers are noticed. They really do point back, and I am defending myself against your inaccurate libelous. I can write letters to order. Please, would you post my included document in your break room, wherever you think it may be seen and understood, unlike me in your courtroom. Holy crap, man. This clock that she says is his, it's a construct in her own mind. So this clock is ticking ceaselessly. I think this is in her head, that time is going tick, 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 tick. It's coming, and loud. I think it is loud in her head. You know, if I was a better poet, this would be a great poem or a great bit of prose to write. Kind of makes me think of Edgar Allan Poe again with that clock, or maybe like Crime and Punishment, that kind of style, right? That clock is ticking away and she's squirming, and as much as she hollers and throws arrows and mud and cries it's unfair, the time is coming, and she would do well to shut up, pretty much, and put her energy toward getting this disclosure that she thinks is outstanding somewhere to, I don't know, maybe hiring an investigator or any number of other things to start preparing for her defense. I mean, this defense that she has for some time now thought she had the answers to anyway. It's not like she's starting from scratch. She's had her own ideas. So this business of, oh, well, now I don't have enough time is nonsense, because she has been pushing in a particular direction all along. She already knows what she wants to do. It's just that the lawyers wouldn't go along with her. All right. So the ticking clock, it's in her head, and she's waiting for him to deliver anything. And then she's going, even more fingers are noticed. They really do point back. This is a reference to one of her earlier letters, but it's interesting the way she says it. Even more fingers are noticed. It's almost like she has a picture in her head and is narrating this picture. And she's defending herself against his inaccurate libelous or libel. I can write letters to order. The order is not libel, and it's not inaccurate. He had proof for everything he said, and the I can write letters to order kind of makes me laugh. This leads me to think that she has recognized what he did with the counting and putting things in bold. And to the extent he could, he was kind of mirroring her behavior, except he actually made sense. So she wants him to post her included document in the break room. Well, we haven't got to the included document yet, so I don't know. But she has to throw in the, where it might be seen and understood, unlike me in your courtroom. How about by the copy machine where your JAs should have made me, what? Should have made me. Okay. The news crews, court TV, professional YouTubers, and photographers, the world, a copy of the notice of hearing where all aforementioned improprieties occurred and then some, including the drop off of my case materials, said order being ordered, and me being pulled by my uniform to exit your courtroom while still trying to speak and defend myself against all the mayhem and chaos, especially the surprise of even being there unprepared and without notice. Oh, I understand. Should have made me, because she ran on and on and on. Okay, the copy machine, she thinks a judicial assistant should have made her a copy of the notice of hearing. And then she's blah, 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 improprieties occurred, blah, blah, blah. And then including the drop off of my case materials. So the case materials were dropped off? Or maybe that's when Cashman brought them in. Said order being ordered. So remember, the order was read to her in court, and she had an opportunity to speak after that. But then she says, and me being pulled by my uniform to exit your courtroom while still trying to speak and defend myself. I wish we could have seen that hearing, because it sounds like she just kept going on and he was done and they were pulling her out and she wasn't done speaking, but she would just speak forever. So defend myself against all the mayhem and chaos. I don't know what that is in reference to, if there was actual mayhem or chaos in the courtroom at that time, or if this is just more of her general, everything's chaotic and mayhem and huge. And again, with the surprise, so she's really upset. I think she was surprised that she isn't getting away with what she wants to get away with. Oh, wait, my posting, everything supposedly, is public record, and there is no notice at all. Another, it's in your favor moment It's a group effort. Saboteurs. So I guess everybody is conspiring to sabotage her? What the crap for? Who cares? Nobody's got anything better to do? None of these people have lives, right? So they're just going to all conspire together to get her. And of course, her behavior has no bearing on anything, right? And what about Mr. Torres's family? I keep bringing that up because blah, 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 me. You're horrible. I'm great. What's it like for Mr. Torres's family having to go through this circus? And then surprise again in big letters. She's really upset. I didn't get my way. Oh my gosh, I didn't get my way. I shall return. Don't threaten us. Nothing is impossible. Believe. This kind of manipulation kind of turns my stomach a little bit. These are just buzzwords. This is hollow. This is supposed to make you feel something, but it's hollow. They're just words that she's using. Hopeful, grateful. No, you're not. You're not grateful. Waiting. Well, you don't have a choice. Thank you for posting, Sarah Boone. Remember, please, Judge Kranick. Fair, neutral, impartial. You must be, always. Is she related to Yoda? Maybe that's it. Okay. So he is, according to her, brainwashed, illogical, ignorant, unfair, sabotaging. Oh, what else? I can't remember all of it. Horrible, horrible things. But she's going to remind him now, like she's talking to, a grade 4 student. Remember, please, fair, neutral, impartial. You must be always. Like, that's going to change anything. And by saying that, she's suggesting he's not those things, or he somehow needs reminding. Are you kidding me? And she makes a little heart here. This could give you whiplash. Nice, mean. Nice, mean. This is a game. And this, I bet you, is how she treated people in her normal life before all of this happened. I'm going to be really nice to you to manipulate you. And so I can feel like I'm a nice person at the same time that I stab you with these arrows. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Whoa. That's Philippians 4:13. This bothers me too. It's not that it's scripture that bothers me, and it's not the particular religion. I think it's seriously wrong to use scripture, if you believe in it, to use it to manipulate, to use it to harm, to use it to gain one over on someone, to use it like a cudgel, just to use it in this bastardized way. If she believes this, she's not writing this letter. She may be writing and asking for other things. She may ask for her discovery. She may ask, can we set up a way for me to work on this stuff? Can I do X, Y, Z? But this is mudslinging. So if she believes in this religion, she's not writing this letter. If she believes this bit of scripture, she's not writing this letter. If she believes this line of scripture, she's actually not saying that to anyone. She's not saying it out loud. She's saying it to herself. But this is the Sarah Boone show. Always bothers me when somebody uses any religion in a twisted sort of way. I guess this is the attached document she wants posted in a break room. Inmate seeks attorney. Oh, she made a little poster. Oh, look at how she even drew the letters very carefully. Looking for a prosperous challenge? Prosperous? Did she come into a whole lot of money? All of a sudden, is she going to be paying a lot of money for this lawyer? And if she has so much money, well, then collect calls or making calls, getting a calling card shouldn't be a problem. Hiring an investigator to make all these calls shouldn't be a problem. Hiring assistants, paralegals shouldn't be a problem. Prosperous, right? Or is this prosperity going to come from elsewhere? I don't know. Ready for your close-up on national television? Oh, you're kidding. Okay. Are you zealous with a side of keen. Show the world who you are with your original creativity, extraordinary expertise, confident ingenuity. If you have confident ingenuity, you cannot be Sarah Boone's lawyer, because if you have confident ingenuity, you won't be a puppet, and that's what she wants. We should make up a new poster, right? What qualifications would somebody need to have in order to be Sarah Boone's lawyer? A straw man puppet? A punching bag? A what? What are the qualifications? Qualifications must include being trustworthy, honest, passion-driven, open-minded. Passion-driven, I don't know. Honest? Well, I think that's been a problem for her. You see, because some of these lawyers have been unwilling to do things that Sarah wanted them to do because they had ethical considerations. So I think Sarah might want to take honest off the list. And being trustworthy with what, to whom, right? Integrity is a good word. Somebody who has integrity is trustworthy. Exceptional problem-solving skills. Yes, you would need phenomenal problem-solving skills in order to work with Sarah. Maybe it requires a degree in psychology, forensic psychology, or forensic psychotherapy, plus have your nanny credentials. Okay, I'm digressing. Client inclusion at all times. Well, that's interesting because I think if you're problem solving, you're going to exclude that client. Team orientation. Team, really. What does that mean to her? Does that mean she gets to be the boss? Is she confusing that with like obeying your dictator? Collaboration. I think that is a synonym for obey me. Extreme efficiency in listening. No. I think that if somebody was efficient in listening, I think she wouldn't like that because she would claim they're not listening. Communicating, understanding. Yeah, I think every lawyer out there, every potential lawyer who has understanding is not going to apply for this job. So she might want to take that off the list. Dedication to success. Well, here's the thing. Dedication to success might mean not having or not utilizing these other skills like collaboration because Sarah makes it impossible to succeed. But okay. Possessing a winning mindset. Yes, she doesn't want that either. She doesn't want that because they would have to also win over her in order to win the case. Capability of excellence in representation, committed, maintaining faith, and she has bolded this, faith in the client and case with the ability to think differently, overcome all circumstances. I think this means trust me totally, look into my eyes, right? Let me brainwash you the same way she claims the judge has been brainwashed. Faith in the client, ability to think differently and overcome all the circumstances. I think that means overcome your cognitive dissonance and think differently. This means mental gymnastics. Can you engage in these fantastic mental gymnastics in order to have faith in me and do what I want? Epic opportunity awaits. Epic what? Epic go down in flames? Epic embarrassment on national TV? What? Epic what? What's the opportunity here? Is it the opportunity to represent Sarah Boone? Nobody wants her. Invest in the oppressed. How about Mr. Torres? How about every DV victim out there? How about we invest in that? How about we invest in victims' rights, right? How about that? Self-oppression might not inspire, right? Believe. You know, words like believe and faith might have some impact if this was about a great goal, a loftier concept. We can save the world, but it's about her. And I think that she thinks she is greater, or she wants to think she is as great a goal as saving the world. I'm kind of wondering if this is a strategy now to not upload these things right away, to sort of take away that instant gratification, because the last letter that she wrote didn't go up right away either, even though it had been written and handed in. It took a while. It may be simply that they're really busy, but I think it's okay that she doesn't get the attention when she wants the attention, whether it's because they're busy or they've decided, yeah, we're not going to be in a hurry to throw these up there. I expect we'll hear from her again before her trial. I also expect she's going to try to come up with some reason for a delay. Well, that's all I've got for you for now. Trust your gut. I'll see you in the comments.